Empower Black men to live extraordinary lives. Shatter the stereotypes. Power Black men, shatter the stereotypes. Power Black men to live extraordinary lives. Shatter the stereotypes. Shatter the stereotypes. Power Black men to live extraordinary lives.
Welcome to Shatter the Stereotypes, where the intention is to empower Black men to live extraordinary lives. This show is based on the simple idea that every Black man is capable of creating inner peace, dynamic health, great relationships, and financial abundance. Therefore, we provide insights and strategies to educate, motivate, and inspire Black men to reach their full potential and create the life of their dreams. So if you're ready for some high-octane motivation and inspiration that supports and empowers you to live the life you were born to live, get ready to shatter the stereotypes so you can build a life that lights you up and positively impacts the world. So now, let's shatter the stereotypes with your host, Coach Michael Taylor.
Hello and welcome to Shatter the Stereotypes, where our intention is to empower Black men to live extraordinary lives. You see, there's never been a shortage of Black male role models. There's only been a lack of exposure of those role models. So the intention here is to showcase and highlight Black men who are doing amazing things in the world. And joining me tonight is a brother who is doing just that. His name is Stefan Hawkins, and we're going to talk about his book club, his coffee shop, and some other things. But before we get started, we want to kind of jump in with some icebreaker questions. So first of all, Stefan, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. It's what's that? Tuesday? No, Monday. Today's Monday, yeah. Man, it's week. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm all right. I'm here. I'm present. So
All right. So before we jump into your business and what you do, I want to just kind of give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience. So first of all, tell us where you're from and tell us a little bit about growing up. What was that like for you?
well, I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's the capital of PA. About an hour and a half from Philadelphia and about 3 hours from Pittsburgh. For people that are familiar with sports teams, we're located about central PA, southeast central, we like to call it. But growing up in Harrisburg, it's a real small city, about 51,000 people by census count. Uh, real small city for real though. Like everybody know each other, but we still got like a big city feel where you don't really know everybody per se. Like I'm still meeting new people every day that like I grew up here my whole life, but grew up in a single parent household. I think I had a basic childhood. There was nothing like real like there wasn't too much excitement going on. I think I had a regular kid, played sports, hung out with my friends, ventured around, did the basic stuff any kid would do. Like I said, it's a small city, so mostly everybody I went to high school with, I still know to this day. I'm still friends with to this day. Uh, yeah, so like it's not like it's like a small town, but big city feel, I guess you could say, on up here.
Nice. Now, I got to ask
Yeah,
you, you're talking about Pittsburgh and you know those
yeah,
Steelers over there, but you fronting that Raider Nation shirt. What's up with that?
yeah, yeah, man. Like I'm not a PA. Like I don't like no PA teams. I don't know. When I was growing up, our in-state teams were bums. So I actually did a research report on Bo Jackson in like fourth or fifth grade, and he was like, "Oh, Bo one of the best. Bo knows everything like that." So I was like the Raiders, and then I just liked it. Like the when I start researching more about the Raiders than Bo, I liked it, that grittiness, that old tough guy, bad boy feel that came with being a Raider fan or came with being a Raider team. Uh, on the Raiders team, and that stuck with me. And then I actually that year was the year we played the Ravens in the AFC Championship. The year Gray and them won their first Super Bowl. I think that was like 2000, something like that, when they had like that unstoppable defense. and everything. But they was actually good. So when I researched the Raiders and Bo Jackson, they was good. So I was like, okay, this is my team. They be winning. So it kind of stuck with me like that. Like my dad is an Eagles fan. My mom's a Cowboys fan. So
Man, what
yeah,
a household.
yeah. So and my brother, he a bandwagon. He when we was growing up, he was a Tampa Bay fan after they won that Super Bowl against us. Now all of a sudden he's screaming A Rod and Green Bay Packers or something. I don't know. He's weird. Well, but I actually I became a Raiders fan because of a research report and it just stuck with me.
Nice.
But I love him to death. 20 years of losing, so I'm here.
There you go. Interesting story. See, when I was a kid, this was way before your time. And
Yeah,
I was like 10, 12 years old, and there was a quarterback for the Raiders named Kenny Stabler.
of
And
course. The snake.
Kenny Stabler. He was the first quarterback that I saw that threw left-handed. And
Oh,
there
okay,
was
yeah,
something about the way he threw the ball that as a kid I just thought was cool. And I
yeah.
just loved him as a player, and then it just kind of stuck. So I've been a Raider fan ever since.
Now you're from Houston, right?
I'm originally from Corpus Christi, which is
What's that?
farther south. That's about 3 hours south of Houston, right on the coast.
What's it? What's it called?
I'm sorry, Corpus Christi.
Corpus. I never heard of it.
Yeah,
Oh
Corpus Christi,
yeah.
Texas. It's a little beach town, little beach. Yeah,
Okay.
right on the
Yeah,
water.
that's what I gotta say. Because how you become a Raiders fan living in Texas? Like y'all got the Cowboys, I had the Oilers, all
Yeah,
type of things. It's a little
that's
there's multiple cowboy nations out there.
yeah. But that's my
Yeah,
team. All right, so
yeah.
name a woman who has inspired you to be who you are.
Other than my mom,
It can be your mom, whoever inspired you the most.
uh, I go with my mom. Like she made the biggest impact on me. Like good or bad, she always stuck by me. Mother's love. Always I could say she tried her best. I don't think she necessarily knew how to raise a man, but she tried everything she could, to allow me to make decisions and figure things out on my own. Sometimes I wish she'd have pushed me in a direction, and help guided me a little bit more. But that's her. That was her. That's the way she mothered and parent, and I can't blame her for what she knew and how she went about things. Now that I'm in my 30s, but I would say she was probably my biggest inspiration. Like I always wanted to make her happy. Always wanted to, to see her smile and things like that. So even now, like with the little success I do have and the blogs and newspapers and news station uh, news and everything. Like she smiled and she tell everybody what she's proud of me. So that's like my biggest push to, be who I am now and continue to do what I do. It's like her.
So
That's
name a man that you admire.
it. uh man. I say personally or like sports star.
Any man that comes to mind that you look up to.
Uh, next question. I can't really think of one that like hits home for me like that.
That's all right. So,
Uh,
let's jump to the next question.
Yeah, I can't really answer that one for real though. That like
If
stands
you
out. That
if you like movies, name one of your favorite movies.
Coming to America,
Ah,
favorite,
you
favorite
ready
movie
for
of
the
all
sequel?
time.
You ready for the
No,
sequel?
no, nah, man, I'm not. I sometimes I'm one of those people that like leave greatness alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes like let it go. Like that's like trying to remake Harlem Nights or something like that. I heard they was trying to do that. I'm like, just let classics be classics. I'm one of those guys. Like that movie shouldn't have been touched. Like nothing like this, and it looks so cheesy. like everybody's out of shape. It was like nobody even tried to care. You know what I mean? I think like the best person in shape is Wesley Snipes, and he's the bad guy. Like
Yeah, nice.
so, yeah. But
Now,
nah, that's my favorite movie of all time.
there you go. Now, there are some people who are optimistic about the future, and there are others who are pessimistic about the future. So, where do you fall on that spectrum between optimism and pessimism for the future in general? Where do you fall?
I always have an optimistic outlook with
Okay.
everything I go into. Like, they say, uh, what they say, prepare for the worst, something like that. Like, hopeful for the best, but prepare for the worst, or something like. I forget that saying, but like, I always got an optimistic outlook on life because I just can't be down and in the dump with something I don't know or something I can't control. So in my realm and in my universe and in my space of what I control, uh, I'm very I'm very hopeful. I'm blessed, and I have a good positive outlook on what the future holds for me.
Nice. All right. So now I want you to introduce the entrepreneur, Mr. Stefan,
Yeah.
and tell us about your company. And I'm going to pop it up on the screen here. Let's
Okay.
let's see here. There
I
we
was wondering what was that.
There you go. All right. So tell us about the Good Brothers Book Cafe.
It's a little small coffee shop bookstore. I started in the Midtown district of my city, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We opened on MLK Day. Went by open only like what, not even a month or yet. Uh, I got the idea from the push of needing more black-owned businesses and needing more representation in our area.
Okay. With that being said, I want to play a little clip so
Okay.
the audience can
We
check it
opened
out.
on Martin Luther King Day, January 18th. It was a very good reception. A lot of the community came out. Family and friends got personal invites. Like I gave out like a little Willy Wonka golden ticket, letting people know that we was doing a soft opening just to make sure they got down here in time before we got crowded. I would say once the word got out and people started to frequent a little more. So,
and why did you decide to open Good Brothers?
It was more so I saw a need in the community. I think we needed a space of our own, something that we can come to, have conversations, network, and uh, and then I wanted to show that representation matters because a lot of times our youth doesn't see themselves in books. They don't see themselves reflected in movies. So I wanted a space where kids can come and see books that look like them, with protagonists that look like them, that they can be Harry Potters as well, that they can be spies and queens and princesses, especially in our children's book selection. And then also that African Americans do enjoy a good cup of coffee. We do drink coffee and we do read, like we like books.
Tell us about your book club that you
Oh,
started way back here.
yeah. The book club actually came about before the cafe. Me and two buddies of mine, Jared Tucker and Lawrence Williams, we came together on Facebook after me posting some books of mine that I had in my collection, and we decided to start Good Brothers Book Club. I'm usually saying Good Brothers Book Cafe, so Good Brothers Book Club, and we invited men from the community, more so African American men, young men, just to fight back against the stigma that we do not read, and you know the statistics show that a lot of black men don't read. Well, we want to push back against that and show that at least the black men in Harrisburg do read, and that anybody's able to join and just come ask. You know, the support is real in the community. Grab a good cup of coffee, a good pastry, a good book, you know, and just come back and hang out with us. The music's of good quality, and I hope that we're around for a while. You know, I see us staying here for a little bit. I think the community will support us, and I hope that we can impact and try to push the importance of literacy, education, and try to help, you know, maybe the Harrisburg School District and form a different types of book clubs. I don't know, like just come down here and grab a book and try to impact your mind, try to change your view. on the world. So I hope I can accomplish that.
Oh
Nice.
wow, I didn't even know that was out. I missed that. I missed that video. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
missed that one.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew they did it, but I thought they printed like an article. I didn't see the like video or audio behind it. So that's something I like to actually get a hold of because I like to share things like that.
There you go. Well, you'll actually have a copy of this video too, so you can use it if you like in your marketing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course, of course.
So with that being said, I want to ask you a few questions about being an entrepreneur because two things that I'm really passionate about is entrepreneurship and books. And
Okay,
you do and
and
you're
I just hit both.
and
And I
you do
do
both.
both.
Yeah, you're doing both. So first of all, what was your school background? Were you always interested in being an entrepreneur, or how did you get involved in being an entrepreneur?
Uh, I knew, I knew I didn't want to work for somebody the rest of my life. I could say my passion push came from there. I didn't see myself punching a clock for like I worked for Pepsi prior to being a full time entrepreneur. I drove trucks. At first, I started as a merchandiser, then I drove truck. But I didn't like always answering to them. I didn't like always them telling me what to do, even though it's a good job. I love Pepsi as a job, the great corporation. Sometimes the people got on my nerves, and I was like, man, I know I could be a better boss than that. I could be a better manager than that. Uh, and I actually took culinary arts in high school, so I really wanted to be like a chef. In the sense, I wanted to work in the kitchen. I wanted to probably maybe I didn't really think I own my own restaurant one day, but I knew it was somewhere in customer service, hospitality. Uh, so yeah, like my school background was basic. I didn't get into entrepreneurship until I really got into a good job like Pepsi, and I was like, man, I know I could run this company better than these guys. So it pushed me down the line to like pursuing entrepreneurship.
Now, there's a stereotype that
Yeah,
I completely disagree with, but there's a stereotype that Black folk don't support Black businesses.
that, yeah, right,
So
right.
how has the reception been in your community with your business?
Uh, ooh, it's been great. It's been great. It's been great. I'm in a neighborhood that's like kind of sort of going to gentrify. Like it's about there. So my foot traffic is a mixture, but the African American Black community has been behind it 100%. Uh, they show love, support, share, follows, mentions, come down and purchase. They're there just as much as the other ethnicity and races, other demographics. So I'm getting a mixture of both, but I would say the Black community is definitely behind me because in my city, there's never been nothing like my business. We never had a coffee shop owned by a Black man or a Black person that we can remember. I've been living here, like I said, 31 years, and I never seen like a Mr. Johnson's coffee shop or cafe that was Black owned in all my life. I knew we had a Black bookstore that was like real small, but nobody really went there like that. So like coffee shop and bookstore, I'm the first of its kind. So especially in the modern era, like after I guess you can say integration and technology, that people are like, man, I never seen nothing like that. So I'm more so like an inspiration, I would say to some people. So they're really like behind it. And then my message of like, you're trying to get kids to read, trying to push the importance of literacy and education is really giving me that community support. So I would say they're with me. Uh, I don't I don't disagree with that. Uh, I don't agree with that. The Black people don't support Black business stigma stereotype.
Now, as a result of the last 4 years, the president that we just got rid of, and of course the
Yeah,
George Floyd thing, there's been a, shall I say, a need or more people, especially white people, buying books from
Yes,
Black
they're
authors.
my biggest customers. They're my biggest customers. That's the surprising part.
Yeah.
Like they're really my biggest customers. Like I'll put up the latest uh who's selling. I just give a random Stacey Abrams books. Like I could go buy 6, 7 of her books, all four of them, and they're going in like a matter of days. And majority of my customers be white, like progressive white people. That's like, I want to know, I want to be woke. I want to understand what I want to understand what y'all going through. And then like right now, my biggest seller is hood feminism and uncomfortable conversations with the black man by a man Etro. Like that book right there, Uncomfortable Conversations, that's actually the book we're reading in our book club for the month. But a lot of white men are eating that book alive. And they're like, I never knew this. I was like, yeah, he wrote this book for y'all, not necessarily us. Like this was for y'all. This was for y'all to read and devour and take in and understand like what we go through. But I guess because it's in a book form and the culture and society that we're living in now, this inclusiveness and trying to understand the African American experience in America, that like white men and white women are starting to wake up and like, oh shit, I didn't know it was really this bad for you. Like I don't know, I can't necessarily be empathetic to you because I never experienced that, but I'm willing to learn and hopefully understand what y'all have gone through and how y'all feel about, this country as a whole. So
Yeah, and it's a great show. I love his show, Uncomfortable Conversations.
oh,
Yeah.
I never watched it actually. Yeah, I never watched it. Is it a podcast?
No, he's on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, he's
I
he's,
definitely,
he's great, and because he got a lot of traction with his YouTube show, and then Oprah saw the show, and Oprah
okay.
grabbed him to do the book. Uh,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Oprah's the
So
one
that's
that
smart.
pulled him together. Hey, let's do a book. So it's been doing really well, and like I said, just the whole
Yeah,
conversation
it's been great. It's been
around
great.
black
It's
men,
been great in my campaign.
I think is really
Yeah,
powerful.
go ahead. Yes,
Now,
sir. Yes, sir. White people definitely want to be woke now. So
yeah. So I mean, because there's have you seen the book? What is the book about? Being an anti-racist and
yes,
white
yes,
fragility, and all those books that
yes.
are now just
D'Angelo, Kendi. Yeah, I got all of those books on my shelf, and those actually sell out too. Like I'm getting like I think like 6 more of each copy this week, and they'll probably be gone by the weekend. Like literally, like can't keep them on the shelf. I might have one copy. Like I'll probably buy like 5, 6 a week since we opened. Three to five a week, and I literally start the next week off with zero or maybe one, and it'll be going that Monday. And I'm like, damn, I gotta order some more. So and majority of my customers are definitely white. Like they're the ones that find it because we already know the things in this book. Not saying we shouldn't read them and we shouldn't get a different perception, like especially trying to understand what the white people see compared to them trying to see what us see. But um, yeah, so it's
so.
definitely eye opener.
I want to talk about being an entrepreneur. Um,
Yes, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I answer that right away. It's hard.
well, I'm glad to hear you say that, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I think it's great to see entrepreneurs, period, especially for Black males, to
yeah,
let them know what's possible. So I guess my first question as an entrepreneur, and yes, I know how challenging it can be, but what do
yeah.
you love about being an entrepreneur? What do you love about that?
I I think most people will want to say that they love, being a boss. I hate it. I thought I'd be a good boss. I'm actually a great boss. I think I'm a great boss. None of my employees will tell you otherwise or they get fired. But but I think it's it's the accomplishment. Like, man, I pulled this off. Like, wow, look at my dreams become reality. Like I set a goal and I achieved it. Like being a boss, I never really like. I'm gonna probably be up till 12:30 tonight, 1 o'clock tonight, trying to figure out new books to order, trying to think of a new concept to create to market. Our pastries, book, coffee, just up paperwork, taxes, everything of those natures. Like, and then I got to be up again at 5:30 a.m. to go open a cafe for my workers at 6:30. So I'm sleeping about an average of 4 to 5 hours a night. I hate it, but that comes with being a boss and trying to be an entrepreneur. Is like late nights, early mornings, and I don't remember the last time I went to sleep before 11 o'clock at night since I became an entrepreneur. But I just like the fact that, man, like I actually accomplished something. I actually have a brick and mortar store, and what I set my mind out to do, I achieved it, and it was possible. Like I just took a chance. I took a gamble on myself, and it paid off. That's like my biggest thing. That's like my one biggest thing. Like wow, when I step back, I'll be like, wow, I really did this.
Nice.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's jump into your shop just a little bit. And
Yes, sir.
if we look on your shelf, I see this book down here says Shattering Black Male Stereotypes. Now, who in the world is that guy?
I think this is one author out of Houston, Texas. I'm not too sure. Good guy for what I was heard or what I heard. I think he's a Raiders fan too, so he's okay in my book.
All right. So with that being said, let's talk about your book club, because you said your book club was even before your cafe. So tell us a little bit about your
Yeah.
book club.
Okay. Well, in the picture, that's a different book club, but that's
Yes,
that's
right.
that's a, yeah. That's some young kids that's in college that started a book club. My book club was started with two of my friends, Jaron Tucker and Lawrence Williams. I put a post up about like 80 books I had bought. Like I started my cafe with my own book collection, plus a couple more I bought. But yeah, I started and we wanted to push back against the narrative that black men don't read. Statistically, the most educated person in America is a black woman. College educated person in America is a black woman. Statistically, the most well read person in America is a black woman. Yet, the least educated person in America is a black man. The least read, or well, the worst read, or however you say that, is a black man. So black women are sitting up high, educated, well read, uh, and then their counterpart, who they look to, don't go to college as much, which that has grown significantly over the last couple of years. But statistically, we still don't match our women, and then we don't read books. That's not like, I guess, self empowerment or hood novels. So we basically tried to start the group to show that like there are black men out there that do read. There are black men out there that do enjoy a good book that's not, the 48 Laws of Power or Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Like we actually do enjoy like a good fiction book. We actually enjoy some type of, romance, even though we haven't really read a romance novel or nothing like that. I don't think we even gonna pick one. We just wanted to show that like there's okay for black men to read a book and to have a book club, and that it's not like some mystical unicorn being to see a black man with a book in 2021 that's not like required from school or some type of training. We wanted to basically say like we chose to pick this book up, we chose to read, and it's a good thing. But then we also want to do that too, try to help our youth recognize the importance of education and literacy at a young age as well. Like, let's get the book club off the ground, and then let's try to work with like our local schools to start pushing literacy, education, and understanding how important it is.
Now, with that being said, Let's imagine that you were trapped on an island for 30 days and you could only take one book with you.
Okay.
What book would you take?
Ooh, I probably would take, man, 30 days, one book. What can I read over and over? Or we would last me that long. Because I devour books, man. Like once I get into a book, I devour it in like a matter of days. I would say, I would
So
say,
put
yeah,
another
yeah.
way.
Because I'm lost. I would actually, crazy thing is, this is crazy. I'll probably take like a Harry Potter book with me. I always loved that series since I was a kid. Like that's funny. Yeah, I could reread those over and over again.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's jump over here, looking inside your shop here. So you've got a brother sitting there reading a book, and there's Nipsey in the back. Got looks like a cup
Yes,
of
sir.
coffee. Looks like a cup of coffee or something there on the.
Yeah, as a cappuccino, we
Yeah.
let him try. Yeah, he was working on a new flavor, and I was using it actually for a prop. I was like, man, it's still hot. Nobody touched it. You want to? Because he already had his own. He already had a cup of coffee he purchased. So I was like, yo, you want to try this out? He was like, yeah, sure, man. And he was like zoned out into his reading. He had his own. We played music in a cafe, but he had his own headphones there, listening to the music he wanted to listen to. And he was actually a local rapper slash artist. I don't want to like put him in one genre because I think he does all type of music, but I know he does rap. So I was like, man, like this is what the cafe's for. Like this is that moment where I'm like a black man reading a book, enjoying a cup of coffee. I was like, man, can I take a picture of you like doing this? And he was like, sure, sure, because I know him. I mean, I know him from the city and growing up. So I was like, man, can I take a picture of you? Like this is what Good Brothers Book Cafe is about. Like this moment right here, right now, is
Yeah.
what it's literally about. And I was like, the sun's hitting you because he's got a front window. And I was like, the sun's hitting you just right. I was like, can I take your picture? Like, yeah, sure, man, go ahead. And I was like, boom, and I captured that
Yeah.
moment right there. So yeah, man, that was powerful to me. That was
Yeah. That's a
powerful.
great. That's a great shot. That's a perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a perfect shot.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about coffee.
Yes,
Have,
sir.
have you always loved coffee yourself?
I enjoy coffee,
Okay.
but I didn't find the love for coffee until like the last year or two. I started to drink more. Like I said, I was barely sleeping, driving trucks and working like two jobs trying to open another business I have. So I found the love for coffee and how it energized me and kept me up. But I didn't really understand quality coffee until I got into the business myself. Until I was basically ready to sell coffee, did I understand the importance of beans, culture, origin, growing, roasting, cupping, so all those aspects that came with the coffee game and the coffee bean and how powerful it can be was once I started to like, yo, I'm gonna open a coffee shop, that I understand how impactful coffee can be in a person's life.
So how do you go about finding a supplier? I mean, how did you choose your supplier for coffee?
I looked around. I wanted to work with black only business at the time, but the ones I reached out to wasn't selling bulk like that. So I ended up connecting with some roasters in Cali to help me start my own brand. And then I also worked with, and then I didn't want nothing local. Like a lot of the roasters in Central PA are white. There's no black roasters in Central PA. I'm actually probably going to be the first roaster out of Central PA. I think there's one in Philly area, and then maybe one in Pittsburgh. But right here in my area, there's no black roaster that I could have came to. I'm like, hey, can I sell your coffee at my cafe? So I didn't want no coffee locally because it was basically already being sold. I might as well go buy Starbucks coffee. That's how I looked at it. So I was like, I'm gonna get a coffee in the area that's not from the area. So I reached out to some people in Cali at first to do it, but now I'm actually working on roasting my own beans and selling them myself within the matter of like next 2 weeks. I'm gonna be learning the process.
Now, is that additional equipment that you have to buy to do that? How would you do that?
No, I'm actually going to partner now. Now this is where partnering comes in. I'm actually going to partner with a roaster
Ah, okay.
here in Central PA, but all the beans and everything will be mine. But I'll be basically paying them a fee to use their equipment to roast my beans. But the blends, the beans, where it's shipped from, the origin, how I blend them, how I roast them will all be done by me, by hand.
Okay. All right. Now,
Yes, sir.
looking at this cup, the Black Bucks coffee.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Black Bucks is a play on Starbucks, but more so trying to push uh, the black dysphoria and say that we drink coffee too. It was actually done by a local artist named Brian Hickman. He goes by Prolific. He's a good friend of mine. We went to high school together. Uh, we went to college for a little bit together. I didn't finish college. He did, but uh, yeah. So all my paintings that I have hanging up, canvases that I have hanging up in my cafe was done by him. But he actually started Black Bucks Coffee as a fundraiser for black coffee shops across America. Like he bought about like 50 thermal mugs that you see in the picture. He started an apparel line, like t-shirts, hoodies, hats that he was going to sell. All the proceeds that he made from Black Books Coffee Apparel was supposed to go to the black coffee shops across America. Anybody that basically responded to his message, he was going to donate proceeds to them. Nobody responded. And then I got the idea to open Good Brothers. And he was like, yo, he's like, bro, nobody answered me back. I don't know if they thought it was a gimmick or nothing. He's like, nobody responded. He's like, do you want to partner with me to do this? And I was like, sure, why not? Like, you're like, we grew up together. Why would I do this? And so we partnered together to sell merchandise. Everything that sold basically went back to Good Brothers.
Nice.
So that's basically what that was.
So
We get these pictures.
we
I just posted these.
huh? What's that?
I just posted these like 2 days ago. You already got them.
So we talked a little bit about coffee. So now we got to talk a little bit about food. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your menu and what do you sell?
Right now I'm building the menu, but I'm working on like mini presses. I'm working on uh breakfast menu, but this was like more so of trying to generate responses and trying to get like feedback from what people may want. I'm 100% vegan. So I kind of know what vegans want. I kind of know background. I haven't eaten meat in almost 3 years. So I basically was like pulling out fillers. Right there, you have a picture of a turkey Swiss panini sandwich, and that's a caramel macchiato, and it with it. The coffee, I already knew that aspect, but the panini, the turkey Swiss, I was more so trying to put a filler out there, like, hey, would y'all like this? And the response was well. Now we do sell bagels. That's four different kinds of bagels. We have blueberry, all everything. It's called an all everything bagel, plain bagel, and blueberry cinnamon raisin. Yeah. So that's on the menu for sure. Vegan cream cheese, butter, vegan butter, and jelly. And then coffee's in abundance there. But I haven't really started food yet. I'm trying to build that part of the menu, but I just got into smoothies as an additive to our menu. So I'm working that avenue right
Nice.
now. But yeah, so the vegan food's fine. It's the meat part that I'm trying to get my hands around.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You
So
vegan?
no, my wife has been trying to get me to go vegan for a long time. Uh,
Okay, she vegan?
she's not a committed she's not a committed vegan. She's working on it.
Okay, got you, got you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, it's progress. It's progress.
She's working on it. Now I eat healthy, you know,
Okay,
take care
yeah,
of myself, but I just I'm a little too attached to meat right now.
yeah. That down south stuff, man.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. But actually we're gonna do a 30-day thing to give it a shot. She
Yeah.
challenged me to go vegan for 30 days. And I said, I'll give it a
That's a
shot.
good,
You know, I'll
that's a
try.
good woman. She trying to save your life.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
she trying to save your life.
with that being said, in terms of your company, what's the long-term vision? What do you see for Good Brothers Cafe, Books and Cafe?
I I see us becoming a staple in our community. That's my goal is to, you know, how I spoke about. I when I grew up, I never seen a Mr. Johnson's coffee shop. I never seen a, you know, Uncle Ray Ray's cafe. I want to be basically Good Brothers. I want to be 10, 15 years from now. I want to be the staple of my community. Like, you know, we can go down here, enjoy a cup of coffee. We can go down here and get a nice book written by us, for us, with a protagonist that look like us. So 15 years from now, I want to be still around in my city, and I also I always think bigger than my immediate circumference. I want to be, you know, like in different cities, but I want to be in cities like that doesn't have our culture yet, or that doesn't have something like us. Like Philly, there's already two, three black-owned coffee shops. Pittsburgh, there's one or two now. It's two now in Pittsburgh. I want to go somewhere where there's not really us, and that I can make that impact again. Because I don't want to. I want to show communities that there's more to the African American community than what they see on TV and hear in music.
So what's been the response? For example, Black authors like myself that are saying, "Hey man, we'd like to, you know, put some books on consignment in your bookstore." What's been the response so far from Black authors?
It's been a mixture. A lot of black authors never been in indie bookstores or never been in bookstores in general, so they don't really know how to go about it. The same way I was learning, they was. Hold on, my phone. Just, yeah, my phone was about to die. But the same way they're learning how to work with bookstores was the same time I was learning how to work with indie authors and getting that contract out to them. But a lot want to work with us. A lot want to have their book on a shelf and not do, you know, self promotion, self publishing. Well, they do the self publishing, but like, you know, hand in hand, like you trying to sell out the back of a trunk of a car. Like, you know, buy my book and I'm gonna drop it off to you, or buy my book, I'm gonna mail it to you. They want to work with a place that handles all that for them, and they still get their proceeds. But a lot of them don't know how to go about it. So it's about us teaching how to work with us. And then also a lot of indie authors, as good as they think they have written a book, their book still isn't a bookstore quality sometimes, like the cover, the layout, the editing isn't always up to par with what like a Barnes and Noble may carry. So a lot of times they need to uh, restructure their books to fit bigger chain bookstores quality. Like, yeah, they can start out with something like me because one, I'm new to the game, they're new to the game. So I may accept something that Barnes and Nobles may not, or Walmart or Target or a big publisher may not. So we're teaching each other like, okay, this is a good quality book, but your cover's a little too much, or you don't even have words on the spine to where if I put it in a shelf, it won't get lost. Also, a lot of times people think they wrote a book and they wrote a pamphlet, like it's like this thick. So once you put it on the shelf, it's gone, it disappeared, and it's like, well, you don't got my book out. Well, your book's right there. It's just between two thick books. So if I go in alphabetical order, your book is lost. I need about 20 of your books to make the thickness of maybe 3 of these other books. So it's teaching them that, like teaching them quality and how to restructure their spines, their layout, so that their book can be presentable in maybe a bigger chain store one day. Or say I get 2, 3 more uh, cafes, book cafes, and I'm like, yo, I want to put your book in every cafe. But now I'm worried about quality too, because I'm exposing you to different customers. It's not just, this startup company no more. I look at me as becoming a chain store now. So let's work on your quality. So it's been good, and I'm learning, they're learning, we're all learning together. This is something new to me as well.
Yeah, and you really touched upon the biggest challenges, especially self-published authors face.
Yeah.
That cover, having the stuff on the spine, having a barcode, having
Yes.
having an ISBN number so you can scan it into the
Yeah.
systems and stuff like that. So that's extremely
Yes, sir.
important. So with that being
Yes,
said,
sir.
are you going to be offering any type of workshops or anything at your cafe? Maybe you can teach some of this stuff?
Right now, currently, I'm working. That's in the works, because I'm learning everything about that. I'm working with actually like a publishing house that restructure indie authors' books and helps them to be more promotable, more marketable, and help them to get their book out there more, and not just print pamphlets from some Chinese company over in China, like, oh, I published a book. Yeah, but your book is about 10 pages long for real, with 12-point font. You use 28 font, and then you might as well call this a children's book. Just do some pictures in there. But I'm working on that part and trying to understand like what's marketable, what's a real well. I know what a well written book is, but it's conveying that to an indie author and telling them like, hey, this isn't really marketable at a bookstore without hurting their feelings. So right now I'm working on actually like a read aloud with kids, and like something like this where I talk to like a podcast thing where I talk to like authors about their book and what inspired them to write, and then also dive into the coffee and books. It's something like coffee and book podcast. But the workshop thing is in the works too. I had a few publishing house reach out to me to collaborate on that, but I'm still learning, and I don't want to give out misinformation right now.
Yeah. Now, are you also planning on having like book signings at your store?
Yes, at post COVID, which I don't think there ever will be a post COVID the way it seems, but I say when the capacity increases within my state to like 75%, 75, 80%, I think I'll start looking into that, because I feel as though people will people will deem it safe enough to be in crowds a little bit larger. Like right now in my state, we're at 50%. As much as we say don't trust the government, they trust the government when it comes to something like this. If government says be 50%, people are staying in the house. But then if the government say, like today we could be at 50%, the next week the government might say, oh, 100%, everybody go back to normal, like the state of Florida or your state, Texas. Y'all never even shut down once. So I think y'all shut down for like the first couple months or something like that. But y'all been like fully open since then. But like in PA, we're shut down, and we actually just came out of a shutdown like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks to a month ago. So when our government permits the capacity to be more, I start looking in book signings and that aspect of trying to expose authors to their readers and our consumer base.
Now, are you still part of your original book club?
Yes, we just met last Tuesday to talk about the first part of Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And then we're meeting again March 2nd, and then we're going to pick another book after that. We're not going to get rid of the book club. If anything, I'm going to try to recruit more members before I allow it to fall apart.
So how do you come up with the title that you're going to have in your book club?
We vote. we tell every member basically to pick a book, or the members that frequently participate and that actually, that doesn't read just because it's a requirement, but we do enjoy reading, because we do have members that like aren't avid readers, but they're like, I'm trying to get back into reading. So the members are more so like the founders of the group, like me and my two homeboys and maybe another member. We'll pick a book, and then the group will vote. We got about 13 members in our group right now. So we'll probably pick like 3 to 4 books, and then we'll have a group vote. And whichever one has the most votes, that'd be a book to start. To start the next discussion on.
So how do I drop shattering black male stereotypes in the mix?
Uh, I personally, I have to put it in there, and I got you, because I think I'm probably the only one that. Well, no, we see actually uh, two reverends actually picked your book up, and they said they're going to come back for it. I'll tell you this personally. They said they're going to come back for it because I think they're going to start your book and their Christian-based book club that they're having. So I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna be supplying them your book for that point, because they was actually talking last Saturday, and I was like, you should buy it now. They're like, oh, let me see what the group says. I was like, come on, man, just buy the book, support the author. And they're like, nah, but I do want to, because they was in the line with like the TD Jakes thing. They're like, we don't want to do TD Jakes or nothing like that. We want to do a different way. So then it's like, this book may fit our idea of how we want to go about this. I'm like, well, one of y'all should take it and check it out at least. So they said they're going to come back and see if that's something that they want to do in their Christian-based book club, is pick up your book. Your book's not Christian-based, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
It's got a spiritual component to it, but it's not Christian-based.
Okay, well, yeah, that was something they was looking at, but I told them to come back and get it. So I'll keep you posted if it's going to be in their book club as well. But I'll do you a favor. I'll mention it and let's see what happens. See if we get the votes for it.
I think you'll enjoy. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm checking it out myself. But as a group discussion, we'll see. We'll see if we get votes, because we picked the last book. That thing was crazy. We had to actually stop that one. It was the book before that. The book before it was the one we read now. We was reading a Marlon James book, and it was all over the place that we actually had to like exit it. Like, it was just too much going on at one storyline. So,
all right. With that being said, how can people find you if they want to learn more about your bookstore and find you on social media? How do people find you?
We have an Instagram page. We have
Okay.
an Instagram page, and we have a Facebook page. Good Brothers Book Cafe. And then you can also look me up. My name is Stefan D. Hawkins on Facebook. And just shoot us a message. Just check us out. Everything's public. You can view it. You can send us a line. And then I'm working on the personal website now, because there was a lot to it that I was missing. Web development is a real skill that I learned. So such as photo, food art, or food photography. Those are real skills. So the website I had created, it was very bland and not exciting. So I'm revamping the website right now to make it user friendly, but also convey a lot of information to people on how they can order books from the cafes going to have in the future, and the book listing, because it seemed like I was missing a lot on our website. So we're working on the website. It's probably going to be more so goodbrothersbookcafe.com, and they can look out for that in the future. But for right now, they can just check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I have a Twitter now for Good Brothers Book Cafe. It's called Book Brothers. You can add us at Book Brothers.
And I'll have a link below the video on my podcast page. And for now, I can just link it to your Instagram. Is that you prefer to go Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah, I check my Instagram a little bit more frequently. I get a lot more interactiveness through Instagram, so I'm more so on Instagram when I am Facebook.
Okay.
My Instagram followers interact a lot more than Facebook right now. I'm building up that following as we speak.
All right.
So
All right. Well, with that being said, I want to give you an opportunity for any closing thoughts you want to share with the audience. Whatever comes to mind, just put it out there. What's up?
Black men read more. Don't be afraid to open a business and try. Also, teach the youth the importance of education and literacy, and have a good cup of coffee from a black-owned company or roaster. You'll be surprised of what quality coffee really tastes like.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah,
Again, my brother, I am absolutely proud of you, man. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad we had this opportunity to chat. You're the
thank
type of
you.
brother this is why I do this show, to showcase
I
brothers like
appreciate it.
yourself. To showcase brothers like yourself who are doing some amazing things. So I wish you continued success in all of your endeavors.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I wish you success on your shows and radio stations as well. And then when I start my podcast, let me bring you on my show, and we talk about your books and how we can shatter the stereotypes.
Absolutely. I'll be there. All right. So this has been another episode of Shatter the Stereotypes. I'm your host, Coach Michael Taylor. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check the brother out. Good Brother Book Cafe. Great stuff, man. Take care. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.